looks like Full House is coming back. Danny, Jesse, Joey, DJ, Steph, Michelle, and Comet. Wait, probably not Comet. It's been 20 years since Full House went off the air, so here's a quick refresher on everything we saw. The series begins just after Danny's wife died in a horrible car crash. The next most logical thing then happens. His brother-in-law, Jesse, and college roommate Joey, who holds the record for most frequent Popeye impressions, move in.
Oh golly, it's swell.
17 episodes in, Danny tries to date Steph's honeybee troop leader, but the girls tell him he's awful for wanting to date anyone after they've lost their mother.
DJ Wade!
In season 2, Danny takes a job at
Wake up, San Francisco.
and meets his new co-anchor, Becky, who starts crushing hard on Jesse. By the end of the season, they decide to get married. At the altar, Becky gets cold feet.
How rude.
Oh, and we meet the Beach Boys. The following season, the family gets a dog, Comet. Scott Baio shows up and teaches Jesse that he's not as cool as he used to be.
You've gone from Dr. Dare to Dr. Seuss.
The girls change their mind and decide to set Danny up on a date.
You got it, dude.
But Danny is clean, and his date is not. Oh, and we meet the Beach Boys. The next season, we find DJ crash dieting because
I want to look like these models.
Steve Urkel drops in to say,
Boy, am I hungry. Got any cheese?
Becky finally agrees to marry Jesse, and just before the wedding, he gets stuck in a tree. They get married, then move out of the house. But Jesse hates it, because what is a sitcom without a heavy dose of codependency?
Copy.
So they move back into the family home, into the attic. That's healthy. Then we learn Becky is pregnant. Then we learn Becky is having twins. Around this time, things start to sizzle between Danny and his co-anchor Vicky. But Vicky moves to Chicago, and Danny is once again destined to be alone.
Chicago?
DJ goes on her first date with Steve Peters. Oh, and we meet the Beach Boys. In season 6, DJ comes back from studying in Spain, and she's got a new boyfriend.
This is Steve.
Steve Hale.
Hi, Steve.
Anyone care to explain this? The family heads to Disney World, where DJ hallucinates that Steve is everywhere. She even hears his voice coming out of Aladdin. Those silly writers. As it turns out, Steve was actually creeping around and checked into the same hotel as the family. Danny then asks Vicky to marry him, and she says yes. Does this mean Danny finds happiness? Of course not. Soon after, Vicky has to move to New York for work,
New York?
and they break things off, as do DJ and Steve. But it's not all bad news. Jesse reopens the Smash Club. Oh, and we meet Little Richard. In the next season, DJ explores her darker side and ends up dating a millionaire, this guy Nelson, and a member of Jesse's band, this guy Viper. Jesse gets pissed and kicks Viper out of the band.
Viper, you're fired.
DJ ends up alone. Using his kids for dates, Danny dates Steph's best friend's mom. Kimmy Gibbler, remember her? Decides to get hitched in Reno. But thanks to a chewed up note, Comet, the family thinks DJ is getting married. The family hightails it out to Nevada to stop the wedding. Ultimately, Kimmy decides to not get married. Meanwhile, Michelle gets thrown from a horse and develops amnesia.
Who are you?
Stephanie gets a kiss. DJ ends up getting back with Steve, and Michelle gets her memory back. She asks how bad it was, and the family responds that it was bad.
We stuck it out and we got through it.
Just like we always do.
Just like we always will.
And Danny is still alone.
You sound a little bitter. May I suggest that you just suck it up and get on with your life?